Okay, so this is our first official Team Bloom team call. Yay! So we wanted to do a little bit of recognition in our team, and since we get recognized for Success Club points and for rank advancements through Beachbody and through Dare to Dream and all that kind of stuff, we are going to be doing some new recognition with Team Bloom. So we've got 3 recognition categories. We have MVP, which has nothing to do with how many Success Club points you have, but it has to do more with most valuable, as in you are stepping out of your comfort zone and you're doing things that you've never done before. That's MVP. Most inspirational is you are showing up on social media, you are adding value every single day, and you're inspiring people. And then the third category is beast mode. So beast mode is for the people who we see who are being a product of the product. So they are investing in themselves in personal development. You're showing up for your workout. Hey, Becky. And you are showing up for your workout and you're drinking your freaking Shakeology, okay? So for MVPs for this, Heidi, she's just getting it right now. So MVPs, we have Carissa Miller, who has signed, I think, 3 people in the last week. She's killing it, and she has tons of links sent out. Sharon Pastor has been showing up. For those of you guys who don't know, her son's been in the hospital. She hit SC12 in 48 hours or something last month. Talk about no, right? Showing up. So Sharon gets it. And then Becky also gets it. Becky signed her very first challenger. She is showing up as well. She's got twin boys, you guys. Let me tell you something. If you want to know how to rock a free group, you should message Becky because she is killing it. Most inspirational would be Paige, because I don't know if you guys watch her story, but she is showing up as well and super optimistic despite the fact that people have been criticizing her as being fake. I haven't seen her drop her momentum. In fact, it's gotten higher. So kudos to that. Jessica, don't know how to say your last name, McNew. That's the problem with not knowing you guys in real life. She signed her first challenger. And then Anna Blossom and Shannon Bellamy. I think I'm saying that right. Bellamy. They're also, there are some positive vibes going on from them. And then beast mode, so people who are being a product of the product, which is the most important thing. We have Jamie Smolodin, who is currently working out right now during this team call. Jamie, she's not even show her face. Jamie, we have Kristen Drew and Susie Cairns, or Cairns, I'm not sure how to say that, because those girls are really being a product of the product. So since this is our first team call, I'm going to open it up for questions. So in the chat, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them there, and I'm going to address them at the end of the call. So it would help if you had questions. But I just wanted to say, so this is Team Bloom, obviously, and I wanted to give a little background. So I started coaching in April of 2016, and this is why I think it's important that I wanted to address this, because I think that it's important to learn from each other. So I've been coaching almost 2 years, and I started when I had $20 left to my name. I was a single mom, and I was in grad school. And for all of you new coaches out there, I had a lot of fears. I told myself, in fact, I even told my coach, okay, I'll do this, but I'm not going to be posting on social media. I'm not going to be that girl who invites people. I'll post one time on Facebook that I'm a coach, and then I'm not going to do it again. That's literally what I told her. But it's amazing what happens when, first of all, you continue to be a product of the product, which is why I think that Beast Mode award is so important, because the more that you drink your freaking Shakeology and feel those differences, and the more that you show up every single day to your workout and you see how other areas of your life transform, the more belief that you have, and how in the world could you not share that with other people? So I've been coaching almost 2 years. It'll be 3 free trips now. You guys, this has totally changed my life. I finished grad school, and now I get to work from home full-time as a coach. Don't have to work outside the home. And through all of this, I've met all of you guys. So I want to encourage you to really think that no matter what you have going on, whether it's financial stress, or you're busy, or you don't have the belief, or you don't think that you have the physical transformation yet, to really picture the finish line and where you want to be, and how you can get there, because it is totally possible, but you have to have that belief. So I wanted to talk about the vital behaviors today, because I think that this is so important. And I think it starts with making your own health a priority, because if you are not working out every single day, like you're not going to be able to encourage other people to do it, right? If you're not doing your personal development, the first time that someone criticizes you or the first month that you have where nobody wants to join you and you get a ton of no's, you're going to want to quit. Like all of these things that come at us are going to make us want to quit unless we're doing those vital behaviors. So I'm hoping you guys have some questions about either the vital behaviors or like whatever. I know this is our first team call, but I really want to address things that are pertinent to where we are at as a team. Because I know that a lot of you guys might be newer coaches in your first year or two, and you already have coaches signed up under you. And I think one of the hardest parts as well is knowing how to lead them, which is why I wanted to cover the vitals, because if you are not doing the vitals yourself, you are not going to be able to help them be consistent. And you're never going to attract the kind of coach that you want to attract if you're not that coach first. So if you are not leading from the front, nobody's going to follow you, right? Like that is so freaking critical. So what questions do you guys have? It doesn't have to be about the vitals, but I really want us to go over stuff here. I feel like you guys are all just staring, but I'm also hoping some of you are typing.
I'm typing.
Or you don't even have to type. I mean, it's just us, so you guys can unmute yourself. Ask. Easton is so cute. Yes, I would agree.
And a little baby coach.
If you don't want to talk, you can type. Otherwise, you can just ask a question. So Sharon's asking about inviting every day. Do you cold invite or do you only invite those who you've formed? So this is a really hard one, I think. And my personal approach to this is I always said that I would never straight up cold invite. So I'm never going to invite someone who I've never talked to before unless I have posted, which you guys should be consistently posting, a call to action. So a call to action is more than, oh my gosh, I'm on day 45 of 80 Day Obsession. It's doing this in my life. That's a fantastic post. But at least 3 times a week, you need to be doing a post where you're saying, this is what I'm doing. This is my journey. And I'm giving you an action step to take. Like, did you know that you can join our group? Did you know that you can be a coach too? Message me, comment below. And then even if they don't comment below, which I find a lot of people don't, and they don't reach out to me super often, if they like my post, even if I've never talked to them before, I'm going to go send them a message. And I'm just going to say like, hey, listen, I'm not trying to be a creeper. I'm not that girl, but I saw you like my fitness post about our upcoming group. And I really want to know, like, were you interested in joining us? And I always end with a question. So I do not believe that in this business, I don't think you have to cold invite to be successful. That is, I will never, ever tell you to cold invite. But I think that if you're doing the other vital behaviors, which means you're posting with call to actions, that you are never going to run out of people to invite. So if I look at my list and I have no one else to invite, then that probably means something's missing in my posts where I'm not getting a lot of likes or something. So that means I need to like seriously up my call to action post. Does that make sense? Yes?
Yes.
And I have never, ever, ever just straight up cold invited someone, and I've hit Success Club 10 every single month that I've been a coach. So I do not think that you have to do that. Maybe I'll change my tune, but I will not.
Yeah, and when we went to Utah, they said that like none of the elite coaches cold invite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
So
I think too, the longer that you're in this business, it really does get a little bit easier to hit Success Club. Like I know for me personally, almost 2 years into it, I don't have the issue too often of hitting Success Club 5 even before the 15th of the month, because if you have friends who've been following you for 2 years on Facebook, eventually they're going to want to join you because you're not going to shut up about it. But that's only happened because I've been consistent. So the 2 people that I've signed this month, I didn't reach out to them. They came to me and they straight up said, listen, I'm not in your group, but I've been watching your posts for a long time. Can you tell me about your group? So, and I think that only happens because I don't take time off. Like, I mean, I don't do the vital behaviors on Sundays. I don't think you have to do it 7 days a week. I think it's good to take a rest day. And sure, there are times when maybe you're on vacation and you don't have cell reception, but 100% other than that, like you need to show up every single day. That's like half the battle. And the other thing I think too with call to action posts is sometimes for weeks on end. I have to literally sit down with myself before I start working and give myself a little pep talk and like kind of play a game where I pretend like I'm not getting paid to do this. So it's just like anything else that you would share that you love, right? Like I did a video about Trolls. Okay. I loved that movie and I was telling everyone to go see it. And a lot of people went and saw it and it was going to cost them money to go see it. I mean, movies are expensive, right? But I didn't even care that it was going to cost them money because I knew it would change their life if they just went to see Trolls. So if our business is the same, like really like think in your head right now, if I wasn't making money with this, would I be telling people about it? Would I be inviting and would I be sharing my story? And if the answer to that is no, then you don't have enough belief. It's just true. Like then it's not changing your life like it needs to. Like you need to be so passionate about this and you need to dig so deep and have this change your life so much that you cannot not share. Like that's what it has to come down to. What other questions do you guys have?
Let's see.
Or what else are you struggling with that we can brainstorm about? People are getting their tax returns, so now is a really, really key time, I think, too, to be showing up extra on social media. Because they're going to have that little bit of extra money. Everyone's just killing it.
Yeah. I struggle with like, how do I do this? Do I click on myself?
Yeah, I can hear you okay.
Okay. I think sometimes I just struggle with like, I just think of the same thing to post. Like I'll have one really good one and then I'm like, oh, like, I don't know, then it's bad for like a whole week. Right?
Yeah.
Like you can't obviously repost the same post, right? But like, is it bad to kind of do the same gist of it like a lot? Or, I mean, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally know what you mean. Sometimes I also feel like I'm a broken record.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. At New Leaders Conference, they had us write down the topic of it was your brand is your truth. So I'm just going to look at my notes because I think this was really good because I was struggling with that actually a lot in California. I was like, I'm saying the same freaking thing over and over again. And the same people are liking my posts every single time. So it was your brand is your truth. And she had us all write down 5 things kind of about us. So like maybe I'd write down faith is a big thing for me in my mindset, wellness, family, books and coffee, and that I was a newlywed. Because I think the important thing too is to share whatever season you're in. So for me, I'm sharing a lot about relationships and marriage because that's the season that I'm in that I'm focusing on. So if you write down 5 things and then keep it real, relatable, and resourceful, because if I'm talking about mindset, I can bring in the fact that I do personal development every day. If I'm talking about faith, I can talk about just how cool it's been and how faithful God is to provide for me through this coaching opportunity. You know what I mean? So I can literally take anything of those. I could cover a topic a day and have 5 posts, which I probably wouldn't post 5 times, but I could do that in my story. So there's always a way to like tie it in. You know what I mean? Or I could take the newlywed thing and talk about how awesome it is that like Derek and I can go off whenever we want when he's not working because I don't have a 9-to-5 job. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes it helps to identify those 5 things about yourself.
I watched that. I did write those down.
You did? Yeah. I think that, I don't know, that helps me. What about you guys?
Yeah.
Well, and I think I'm still at a point where I'm like I'm making a little money, but I don't feel like, I don't know what the right word is, not worthy, but like, I feel like I shouldn't be selling it as a job yet because I'm not, you know, like, is that just a lie in my head?
No, I think that's totally common, especially when maybe you think you're not making the money that someone else is making. But the fact is, like, you just earned your free ticket to Summit through this business, right? So that's freaking awesome. Like, that's not an easy thing to do. That's a huge accomplishment. I mean, you've gotten Success Club prizes. You've gotten the mat and the t-shirt, so you can share those types of things. Or, I mean, even if, like, this is how I got Savannah to sign up. She was my very first coach, and I shared that I made like $110. And for her, that was like, sure, that's a little bit of cash, but you never know who that's going to speak to. You know what I mean? Or the community, like all of the friendships and stuff that you're building through this. So I think that there's always something else And the thing is too, I get nervous at this point sharing income because I don't want to attract people who are in it for the income. You know what I mean? And I find that when I do make an income post, the people who message me after that, I actually get really nervous now signing them up because I feel like they're joining because of that number that I just shared. You know what I mean? I would rather have someone join who wants friends because I know they'll stick around because this team is amazing. So I don't know if that helps, but.
I joined based on the income. I mean, off of your post, I mean, because I needed money at the time. So, because I had a newborn and so, I mean, obviously it wasn't, like you said, it was $110. So it wasn't like I was joining just because I want to make $1 million, but it definitely attracted me to the opportunity of hearing about the income. So I definitely think it is important to share about the income, but I totally get what you're saying, Sue.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I also jumped into the income. I needed it.
I have a question about finding people. I know there's a million different ways to find friends on Facebook and on Instagram, but once you do, what's your process of like do you have a list of new people that you have become friends with? And then how do you not form officially, but like how do you start building that? Do you have a system every single day you're going by? Or I feel like I've been adding people, but I'm sort of lost. I don't have like a system yet.
Yeah, so for me, I mean, I think there's different seasons for everything, but I used to write down every time someone accepted my friend request.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that anymore. But I do like to keep my newsfeed pretty clean. So I'm very quick to unfriend people if they're negative, or like I want to be picky about who I want on this team. I don't want to have to sell someone on the business. I want them to have to like tell me why you should be on Team Bloom, you know? Like our team is amazing. So I do tend to either unfriend or unfollow people pretty often just because I feel like that allows me to see other people on my news feed. And then I'm constantly reading posts and either unfollowing, unfriending, or writing down their name because if I like their vibe, I'm going to go make sure that they're not friends with anybody else on the team. And then I'm going to go to their page and like start commenting and asking questions on their posts publicly. And then I'll move over to private message after that. But I do have a piece of paper that I write down girls. I just write their name down. And then even if I don't invite them that month, I'm seeing their name every day. So if I have extra time, I'm going to go comment on their posts and stuff and then invite them the following month or a couple weeks later. Yeah. How would you encourage a coach of yours to stop being so salesy and be more real?
Yeah, that's a hard one.
That is a really tricky one. And I feel like the majority of coaches on this team are not salesy. I haven't personally had one of mine be salesy. Does anybody have an experience with this?
I have a coach who was, when she started, she was just saying like, Beachbody's great. Beachbody's awesome. Beachbody's changed my life. And I shared with her that training that Shalene did at Summit, where it's like curiosity marketing. So you're just sharing your journey, how it's changing your life, and then people ask you what you're doing, and that sort of opens the door for conversation. And so that changed a lot of things for her. So
rather than like directly telling her, you sent her a video. I think that's good.
Well, I talked to her about it, and I said, hey, like, you know, different people take different things out of different trainings, but this has been huge for my business. Like, I rarely ever use the words Beachbody. I think I did when we were in Utah because we were at Beachbody headquarters, but other than that, I don't say Beachbody because some people have bad experiences with Beachbody coaches. So I take that out of it. And she's taken that out of it, and she's gotten a lot of people now saying, what are you doing? So
yeah, that's
I
awesome.
think when you take the words out of it, it becomes less salesy, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I even had a girl comment on my post about the Mexico trip yesterday, and she commented and said, oh my gosh, that's awesome. What company do you work for? And so I commented back and said something like, oh yeah, like it is super awesome. I went to Punta Cana last year, Mexico this year, and I'm going to the Bahamas next year. It's going to be a blast. And then I private messaged her and said, hey, I work for Beachbody. And then we proceeded to talk, and she's calling me today because she wants, I think, to go on a trip. But still, like, I wasn't going to say publicly Beachbody. I hate the name of our company because I think it's about so much more than that. And I think, it's tricky. But, or sometimes I maybe not necessarily don't even say Beachbody, but I'm like, have you ever heard of Shaun T? Or Insanity? Yeah. We should post that video in Bloom so people can watch that Curiosity Marketing, Britt.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Yeah. What else? Anything?
Careful, okay.
And I've been reading too about the power of positive leadership. I know some of you guys are reading this book right now. Can you guys see that? John, he wrote The Energy Bus. This is such a good book. And it's really, for me, it's made me want to have more fun in the business, because I think sometimes we get so caught up in like Success Club points and rank and all that kind of stuff. And for me, it's just been a reminder that like anything is possible, and how amazing specifically this team is, because I read this book about how it's all about changing lives. That's what it ultimately is about, and about having the belief that whatever you want is possible if you don't give up, and then staying positive about that. So if you have a month where you don't hit Success Club, fluff fast and move on, because it's very possible, and it is possible. It will happen to hit it the very next month, right? Like, not getting discouraged at the small bumps, but having that bigger vision. And it's been really, really good for me. And honestly, it makes me even more excited about this team, because I feel like they could just insert our team's name in like all the pages and it would describe us. Because like, who freaking cares? Like, if you hustle hard and you don't hit Success Club one month, that is not the end of the world. Like, obviously it's so important and you always want that to be your goal, but ultimately it doesn't mean nothing, but it doesn't actually mean, it's bigger than that, right? Like, yeah. So if you are needing to have more fun and have more positivity, I would recommend that book, because it's been really, really good. And I think that too is like, what kind of culture do you want to have? And for me, that makes me so proud to make posts about this. Like, I read this book and I'm like, I just want to go do a live video about the challenge group. Like, I just want to invite everyone to the coaching opportunity, because it is such a positive thing. And we need to get those negative voices out of our head that tell us that we're just trying to sell something, because we're not. Like, we're not.
Name again, the power of positive what?
The power of positive leadership.
Oh, leadership.
Yeah.
John what?
John Gordon.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll type it in.
It's okay, I got it. Or you can.
I know most of you guys have been coaching for at least a few months, so there's not a lot of newer coaches on this call, but I am recording it to share with them. So it's good we went over these questions and stuff like that. Is there anything else that you guys have questions on? We're almost to the 30-minute mark.
Little Giant. You know why I asked about Little Giant?
Anything else?
So I posted it in the chat, but how much time you spend? So I know that I go on and it's like laser focus, like doing my power hour. But you said if you had extra time, you message, you go on their newsfeed and you comment on them. How much time do you allot yourself for that? Because I know it can suck you in.
Mm-hmm.
So I just was curious, like, how much time do you allow yourself to do that part of it? Because that's the part I suck at really bad.
Right. I always set a non-negotiable goal for myself to hit Success Club 10 by the 15th. And then the rest of the month, I focus on forming. So that's for me what I do. And I have to freaking hustle those first 2 weeks of the month. But I've proven to myself again and again that it's possible. And so for me, like, I know that that's going to make my business grow faster, because then I have like 2 full weeks to just form and promote. And when I do a call to action, then I'll invite again. But my main focus is forming the second half of the month, and I will get to Success Club 10 by the 15th. Like, it's just not an option not to.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else we need to cover? Anything? Who's getting that cruise next year? Or who's going to get an invite to the next Success Club trip? Who has that as a goal?
Kristen Harden.
Heidi?
Heidi, you have to be there.
We just dominate with Team Bloom on the cruise ship.
Yeah, absolutely. Freaking for sure. And the other thing is, like, we've got Summit coming up. So whatever rank you are by May 17th, I think, is what you're recognized as at Summit. So not for Premier and Elite, but just for rank. Premier and Elite's already decided. So even if you're Elite by May, it doesn't matter. It's just your rank that you're recognized as. So set some goals there too. I will say that is one of the biggest things too, is you need to decide what your goals are, and then you make that a non-negotiable in your head as well. I remember, like, I straight up said, like, I would be diamond by a certain date, and I was able to hit it, and then I was like, okay, step up your game. When are you going to be two-star? Like, it is so possible, but you have to, like, really believe it, right? Otherwise, you're not going to act like that. So for me, I'm like, okay, elite seems like a huge goal to hit, but if I don't act like I'm an elite coach right now, I'm not going to get there. Like, I have to act like I want to become, right? So if you want to be a diamond coach, that implies that you have a team. So how would a coach who has a team act? You'd show up for your workout every day. You'd be getting results. You'd be sticking to your meal plan. You'd be drinking Shakeology. You'd be doing personal development. You'd be inviting. You'd be doing all those things that you'd be telling your coaches to do. Okay. But if you are not doing it yourself, it will not happen because they will not follow you. Like, they just won't. I've noticed a huge spike in our team, and I think it's because all of us are showing up. And I think that's where that is the most important thing. I don't think you can fake this business at all. And you can't. And if you're struggling with belief, that's when you reach out to each other, right? Like, that's what this team is for. We're here to encourage each other. There is nothing wrong with having that day where you want to quit. But the problem is when you act on that, right? When you act on those negative beliefs and you act on those doubts, that's where things start to happen. So I know I still have days when I want to quit all the time. So that's when I normally go listen to a national wake-up call, because those calls will pump me up. So if you're not listening to that national wake-up call, I'm super impressed at your stamina, because I don't know how I would do it without the national wake-up calls. So find what works for you. Find what you need to do on those days when you don't feel like posting on social media, when you're just super down in the dumps. Especially as girls, you guys, like, the week before my period, I want to quit every month. And I had to tell Derek, like, hey, the week before my period, I always want to quit this business. Don't let me. Like, have the self-awareness to know when you're needing a little bit of extra help, right? So, little my personal information there. All right, cool. So is there anything else, guys, or no? Also be thinking, if you have a topic that you're really good at, Britt Slays at Instagram, like, I'm just going to call her out right now. Like, there are things that I know each and every one of you are really, really good at. So if you want to, I would love it if you guys let a team call. Like, you only have to talk for like 20 minutes. We're trying to keep these 30 minutes or less, but I think it would be good to have specific topics. So everyone else will be muted. Everyone else will be muted, and you just get to share. But I think that too is adding value, because every single person on this team is a leader. Whether or not you even have a coach, you're still a leader, and you're gonna be a leader. So start acting like it now, right? So I would encourage you to challenge yourself, to step out of your comfort zone, to message me, and we can get you on the calendar, and we can let them know, hey, this is the topic for today. This is going to be the team call topic. This was our first one, so there wasn't a topic besides the freaking vitals. But does that sound good? So think about what you can offer to the team. That's what it's about, because you guys can offer things that I can't offer. Like, that's why we're such a good team. Okay? Kristen, I can even think of a good topic for you.
Me?
Yeah. I think you're so good at putting people first. Brett, would you agree with that?
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. Such a huge heart.
Yeah. And I think that's such a big thing. And I think if we could all keep doing that, then nobody would ever quit. It wouldn't matter. Like, none of it would matter, because we're putting people first. And if we don't show up and if we quit, then how are we going to reach that person who needs us, right?
Yeah, like, every single person that you've signed that is in our Tracker app talks about how, like, you like made it possible for them to get workouts in as a mom, like how you show them.
Thank you.
It's doable. So
kind of hit a rut, so I'm trying to get back in it because I was leading by example, and then life got crazy. So
I hit ruts like every week. So
And I think that's the thing too, is just share whatever season you're in. So if you're having a bad week, share how you're getting out of it. If you're having a busy week, share how you're pushing through that. Like Sharon did a great job of continuing to share, even though she was like obviously all that extra stress of being in the hospital. I just think that's what's most powerful is if you just share, oh, Britt's doing the call in April. You just texted me. Just share wherever you're at, because that's the other thing. If you're trying to share where you're not really there, like people can smell that, they can sense that. But if you just show up, someone's going to connect with you. And if you make your posts, like, think of the person that you're talking to and make it specific to them. Because if you're trying to hit everybody in a post and attract everybody, you're going to hit nobody. But you want to attract the person, like think of who you want to attract and then pretend like you're talking to them in your post, right?
that's helpful.
I heard it in a sermon once, and they were talking more about faith-based, but they said, you know, you can't lead somewhere where you've never been. You can't lead someone somewhere where you've never been. And so, like, you know, we can't lead people to proper nutrition, or we can't lead them to, you know, to putting themselves first or you know, making them a priority if we've never done it. And we can't lead them to being real if we're not real. So, yeah. That was a good one.
Absolutely.
Marcy, you didn't finish your room. You need to clean your room.
You better get on it, Marcy.
And then the last thing I wanted to share from this book, because I had never really read this Bible verse, but he has a Bible verse in here and I loved it. It was Galatians 6:9. He says, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. And I think, I was like, wow,
Love that.
like,
That's good.
you will reap the harvest. So if you are getting
Galatians 6:9.
those are all going to turn to yeses. What'd you say, Brett?
Galatians 6:9.
Yeah, Galatians 6:9.
Okay, I'm writing it down.
I need to write that down.
It's true though, right? Like you're gonna
Yeah.
reap the harvest if you just don't give up. And some things will get easier. Like those invites are gonna get easier. You won't have to think about it as much. You won't have to think about posting as much. And then you're gonna have that moment where you're like, I have nothing to post. Like it's just an ebb and flow. But if you just, no matter what's happening, if you're standard consistent, you will get through it. And then you're gonna have that fantastic month where you're like, this is why I'm a coach. Or you're gonna have that one person reach out to you and be like, like, thank you. And you're going to be like, who cares about all those other no's, right? I shared with you guys that nasty message I got last week. I'm not even joking. I have had probably 20 people message me and say like, hey, I know I'm not in your group, but thank you so much for even posting those transformation photos because it makes me want to work out. Like that's not someone signing up. That's not at all even, hey, can I be in your group? That's just someone saying that it's encouraging. So I'm like, suck it, haters. Like, that's why I'm showing up for all those people who just said thank you, right? So just like, oh, you guys, this business can change lives if we don't give up. And everything else that comes from it, the free trips, the bonuses, like everything, that's all just extra. Like we are literally in the business of changing lives. So it starts with us. So take care of yourself and then go pass that along to other people, right? Okay. Everybody have a post they're about to go make after this amazing team call that we're all stoked, we're all pumped up?
Wait, can we take a picture?
Oh yeah, let's definitely take a picture. How are you taking a picture? Oh,
I'm just using my
How do
phone.
you take? Oh,
I don't even know how to do like a screenshot on my computer.
Oh, I can do a screenshot. I'm on my computer. And
You should
send
do
it to
that.
you. Hold on.
Wait,
Where'd Savannah go?
Is everybody ready?
I think she had to go.
Oh.
Well, obviously she had to go. I don't know.
I like that it looks like you're drinking a mimosa, Sue.
yeah, it does.
Take a screenshot now.
Perfect.
Let's see, hold on.
Oh, not done.
Oh.
I think I've got enough.
I can stop this recording, I guess, huh?